Okay, so welcome to OWCC 2023, Day 5. Day 5 is basically for participants. There will be no speakers today, except we're in the event that I have to demonstrate something on networking. If that be the case, I'll be the only person to speak. Besides, we're going to be hearing from the participants today. So according to the order of the PPT that I received, the team of Melvin Tamba will be the first team to present. That is the guys from web development. And thereafter, we'll be having the team from networking, Soa and Makwela Donchiniki. Then after, we have the team from cybersecurity, headed by, let me see this person. The team from cybersecurity will be coming up right after as the third team to present. So these are the three teams that will be taken today. No presentation, no certificate. You do me, I do you. You follow me, I follow you. According to Sabinos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, 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 welcome. So let's move on. We're gonna take welcome remark by any volunteer. I mean, not volunteer today. We're gonna take participants. So if anyone on the platform, any participant, any guest, any who are you, you can unmute yourself and just welcome all of us today. Today is participant day.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. Your name.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I would like to recommend one of my team members to do the welcome remark, if you don't mind.
Yeah, another person, go ahead.
Samo, are you in the car?
TV madam, there anybody available now? You can just do our welcome remark, not the welcome remark of your presentation, but just the general program.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Okay. Hi, everyone.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, I'm Othello Johnson, and I'm so glad that we all were able to join from the beginning up to present. As today marks the 5th edition of this program, I would like to welcome all of you. Feel free, if you have any questions, you can ask those people who will be presenting. This place is yours. Once again, thanks to everyone for joining this unique program.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that wonderful welcome remark. Maybe next time I'm going to have you here as one of the volunteers to be giving us that classic welcome remarks. Thanks so much, Othello Johnson. So let's move on. Today the announcement is going to be cut short. We have had these things going on for the last 4 days. The reason why I'm going to play this video today is because somebody might just decide to follow the program of day 5, and as such they ought to know what the program is all about or what TIT is all about. Besides that, we're not going to share it, so let me just play the video about the overview of TIT, and then I'm going to come back. But somebody on YouTube will just find this session of today's program and they will just go with it, and as such they will not know about TIT, they will not know about other announcements that we have been given. Let me see that video. Where are you, bro? I think I put it in the one. So everything is set and ready. We'll get to that part shortly.
Day Innovative Tech, DIT, with the color representation of green, blue, and white. It was founded in 2018. It is our vision to use technologies to transform lives. There are lots of great minds out there, but the opportunities to learn and grow haven't been presented to them. DIT will use technology to provide career guidance, personal development, national transformation, tech events, and much more. DIT is operating on these 4 pillars: develop, build, connect, and impact. These pillars can be applied to individuals, groups, companies, nations, and society at large. Activities of TIT since its establishment have been: 1. Personal development of the founder in terms of higher education and networking with great minds. 2. Producing educational videos about computer science or tech, networking, windowing, programming, IoTs, web development, etc. These videos are being uploaded to DIT various social media platforms like WeChat, Facebook, YouTube, etc. 3. Organizing special classes or tutorials for individuals among others. 4. Web development projects. 5. Conducting global webinars, which are done during the winter and summer seasons, and many others. The prospect of TIT is to establish a free online learning platform in technical schools throughout Africa and the world. The takeaway for the audience are: 1. Exposure to a certain domain, some might be in a state of dilemma. 2. Career or educational guidance. 3. Hands-on from the speakers, practical tips, tools. 4. Connections or networking with like-minded people within the industry. 5. Certification. 6. Future partnership. DIT is open to partnership for the betterment of humanity and society. We can only have a minimally criminal-free environment, job opportunities, small businesses, entrepreneurship, and a vastly growing economy when the minds of young people are geared toward finding solutions through the use of technology. Where there is a lack of creativity and innovation, the nation and its people are doomed to stagnation and economic hardship. So, join us at TIT as we develop, build, connect, and impact.
Yeah, that's it, guys. Try to join us as we develop, build, connect, and impact. So there you have it. The next thing is the overview of the program. Overview of the program. The general thing is, guys, we want to have or bridge the gap, the technological gap that we are faced with in Africa specifically. We have a lot of difficulties, but how can we, what about starting to solve those problems? The people there, we say, oh, the government is this, the government is that. But then what are we doing, or what can we do to help transform the lives of other people, to help mold the minds of other people? What can we do? This program, it might help at least even 5 persons or 1 person to just change their narrative or give them that motivation to get involved in the technology and also doing something impactful. And if that 1 person can come up and that 1 person can become the next Mark Zuckerberg of Africa, of Liberia, of Congo, of Tanzania, or whatever you are joining from, that can be the great change. If that 1 person can become the next Bill Gates, Elon Musk, or whoever, that is something that is achievable. Because we motivated somebody, because we impacted somebody, and they are not trying to make an impact. So many of the programs out there, you have to pay for them to attend. And even if you attend something, you don't even have certificates. And many of you don't have certificates, and as such, you want to apply for other programs, for scholarship, for jobs, and you have a limited CV, or you have limited material or supporting documents. So joining these programs also help to build your self-esteem, your professional development, your career, and everything, and help you a lot in different ways. You might not be that kind of a guru or technical oriented person, but the fact that you are listening to other people, you're seeing how people make PPTs, you're seeing how other people speak, how other people present. The fact that you are in school, you are in a job site, you one day have to present about something. If you are in school, you also have to do your thesis defense, your pre-defense, or whatever proposal defense, or whatever you have to do. There will be a time you have to make PPT, you also have to present. So all of these things is not only about the technical aspect, but just find something that you can rely on, something that you can just grasp and say, okay, yes, I've learned this thing, or I'm going to focus on this thing. So these are more of other things that we have, and that's the reason why we are here today. We want to move this organization to the next level where we're going to be having offline programs basically throughout Africa. Maybe in every other country we can have this kind of a program there. Since people don't have winter and summer there, basically they have summer but they just classify it as something else. We can just organize it on a different umbrella or on a different name. But reaching out to people that don't have data. There are many people who want to attend this program, but internet problem. Even if they attend, they cannot continue or end the program because of connection issue. So if we start to go offline, if we start to have these kind of events in different locations, it's going to be a very, very big change to our community and the nation at large. And it's something we are working on, and hopefully we are going to get there very, very soon. So wonderful volunteers, as always. These people have been helping, making sure that the organization of everything has been going on. I think pretty sure you have heard from almost all of them. Some people introduce speakers, some people give welcome remarks. You have heard from all of them, and you have seen some of them on the various platforms helping you here and there. So some of them, they are not doing computer science. Some of them, they don't even know like any other thing related to technical stuff, but they are just here to just help because they see it necessary and they appreciate the initiative. So like we talk about our admission process of Hoha University, you can apply for undergraduate program, graduate program, and PhD as well, Chinese language and everything. You can apply. How to apply? Just use this URL and you're going to see all of these things here, the announcement. Once you click on this one, it's going to give you everything you need to know about the graduate program, that is the master program, and every other courses and everything you need to know about the program. If you were asked, because in the application process, you will be asked maybe for a recommender or who recommended you and something like that. You can use my information and then maybe that might also help you because they know Orlando already. So maybe that will help you. Better still, you can also send me your application number and then we can do a check and balance here and there. So we have had all of these speakers from day 1 to day 4. And it's been a wonderful time, a wonderful sharing. So certificates. On this note, let me switch my pendulum to somewhere here. What is it? So if you can see in here, we have the certificates ready for all of the speakers. Their certificates are all ready for all of the speakers. I have the PNG format for those who want to post on Facebook, on your social media, wherever you want to post. The picture format is here. If you want to have a PDF format, the PDF format is also available. Maybe you are applying, you want to upload it somewhere, they need PDF. The PDF format is also available. Because I received 2 groups, PPT, that is the group of networking and the group of web development. So if you check here, you're going to see all of them. The volunteer also, their certificates are ready. So from here, you can see all of the volunteers, the certificate are also ready and they will be distributed. The reason why we might not distribute certificate today is because the date on your certificate is reflecting the 28th, which is tomorrow. So if we give it now, maybe somebody go and post and it's not yet the 28th, maybe other people might have other issues or there might be concerns. So we're going to start distributing it tomorrow, but your certificate is already set and ready. That's what we do at TIT. We don't joke, we work over time. For the people that have already submitted their PPTs, I think I received the cybersecurity guys PPT few minutes for the program to start, so I couldn't work on their certificate. But better still, I'm going to do that probably as they'll be presenting or right after they finish presenting, their certificates will also be ready. There were, I think, 2 persons from the group of web development that did not officially register for the program. So their ID number, because if you check the certificate, it has an ID number on each certificate. That is a unique number that can be used to trace or fetch or query your certificate later on TIT website. So make use of that ID later on. We will probably make any other announcement on our social media platforms once we have done with that aspect of the website on the certificate verification. I think it was 2%. So you have a different ID number. I think, okay, this person, Elas Obami, this person actually did not register for the program, but I think they have been attending. I have to verify other things here and there, but however, I just prepared a certificate in advance, and just so everything is checked, we can be able to issue your certificate. There's another person again, but I'm going to get to that. So the two groups that submitted, there are people, I think one group have 10 persons, the other group have 9 persons. So your certificate is already here. Tomorrow, first thing first, right after the program is over, you're going to receive your certificate via email. The reason why I talk about this person is if we want to send your certificate through the email, we don't have the email address of this person. So if you did not register officially, that means we don't have your email address. If we want to send your certificate, we either check for you in a group, and we don't know if you are using the same name in a group. So another thing we can do is we're going to send probably the certificate to that group. So like for example, the web development team, like Melvin Tama team, if I cannot find this person, I'm going to send the compressed folder to Tama, and then he can just send it in that group, the subgroup that they have, and then everybody can get a certificate from there. But all those who email that I have, we're going to send it via email. We can also send it through your WhatsApp. We can send it through your WeChat, whatever way you want us to send it. You want us to go and post it on our Facebook page, and you go and download it from there. We can also do that for you. So your certificate is ready. Keita, I don't know if you are here now. That you register with Abraham Keita, but they use A instead of Abraham. The A and the I don't know which one. In your PPT, they use I, but when you're registering, you use A.
Photos. The photos are I have photos.
Abraham, David, please mute yourself.
We show your photos now. You see.
Okay, so guys, let's move on from that point. I think I've already talked a lot on the certificate thing. So up next is the website is available. You can visit titnetwork.org. Okay. Can I meet Abraham David? Okay, so the website is available. You can check it out, titnetwork.org, and you're going to see a very beautiful website. Very, very beautiful. Very responsive. The best you can ever find around. So our email is here. Anytime you have issue, maybe you lost a certificate, or maybe whatever way, maybe your employer is wanting to verify, you can email us. If you check the website, you see it above. You can email us from there and we're going to reply to you. If you are not in the WhatsApp group where all of these things are happening, about group creation and everything, you can scan the QR code. As always, as we've been saying from day one, scan the QR code to join the main group. Yesterday, I shared all of the groups again from the main group. So you can join the group that you're interested in and take it from there. Also, our Facebook page, thereafter, you're going to see everything. All of the videos from day 1 to day 4 has been uploaded to the YouTube channel. The links are also available on the Facebook page. So everything is synchronized. Also on our WeChat channel, we also have a highlight of it as well. On the WeChat group, if you want to join the WeChat group, if you are in China, you can scan this QR code and Laban is going to add you to the group. So if you are on Zoom meeting and you have to present, I beg you, please try to either join the Tencent Vote meeting, or you can talk to your group lead or any other team member that is on the Tencent side to present for you, because it's going to be difficult for us to switch from Tencent to Zoom if you want to present. So please, if you want to present, if you are on Zoom, it's going to cause us some technical problem like you saw yesterday. So that's it for today, and we're going to take, I hope the first team is ready, the team of Melvin Tamba. I hope you guys are ready. If you are, just let me know. You can just open your microphone and let me know. Melvin Tama, web development team.
Yes, I'm here. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. So you want me to share your PPT or you will share from your end?
No, I will share from my end, please.
Okay, that's great.
Okay then. Before going any further, I would like to take this time to hand over to my teammate, Samo, who will do our introduction. Samo, if you are there, please take over, please.
All right. Yeah, I'm here, sir.
You can try to
You
share
getting me?
the PPT because we are not seeing the screen.
Hello.
I'm going to do that just a minute. I'm going to share my PPT.
So once again, thank you, CEO, for the opportunity given us. We are the team of Group 1 Web Development. So I'm going to introduce my team members. And the leader of our team is Melvin Tamba, who you just heard. And I have Comfort Koliwala. Are you getting me?
Yes, we can hear you. Just go ahead.
Yes, I can hear you.
You can put it in
Okay,
full screen.
I can hear you, please.
So we are 10 members in our group, and the member head is Melvin Tamba, Comfort Koliwala, and Piu Wasmo. We have Emmanuel Gade, Daniel B. Hunter, Napoleon Dixon, Elza Obeni. We have Beatrice Frederick, Arvin Carr, and Miata J. Sister. 10 members of this group. I'm going to pass over on to our presenter, Melvin Tamba. He will proceed on the.
Thank you very kindly. Thank you.
Okay.
Can I be heard, please? Hello, can you hear me? Can you all hear me, please?
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Go ahead, my man.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So, like my teammate rightly said, we are privileged to be given this opportunity to share with you what we have learned throughout this training, and then based on our own research and what have you. So, without any further ado, we'd now like to drive you into our PPT. Yeah, as you can see on the display of our screen, we're gonna be presenting to you today on web development. So someone might say, but yesterday the speaker spoke of web development. Yes, I do agree that the speaker spoke of web development. So today will more be like a review of what you learned yesterday. And moreover, the speaker that spoke yesterday was focused on front-end development. And today we are going to be focusing on the back-end development. So without any further ado, let's go into it. So as you can see, our table of content are project overview, what is web development, front-end development, front-end web development technology, back-end development, back-end web development technology. The technology, there's the languages, but in other, just the languages and tools, team, conclusion, and acknowledgement. So in this 10-minute presentation, we're going to review to you some important aspect of web development in line with the two phases, front end and that of back end. But again, I want you to get this clear. We are going to be focusing more on the back end development. What is web development? Yesterday the speaker clarified that for us, by saying web development is the art of building something that will be used on the web, on the wide web, internet rather. So web development is building an object, or let's say a web application that will be hosted on the internet. And web development can also be referred to as programming. Yeah, they take my mind back to the question one of the participants asked during Mr. Abia's presentation. The person asked, what's the difference between web developer and programmer? These two terms are used, both ways. That means you can call someone, let's say a programmer, and you can call them a web development. If a person program, a code that will lead to a website or web application, you refer to that person as a web developer. And on the other side, if a person programs something that will lead to a mobile app, then you refer to that person as app developer. So again, web development can be defined as the creation of dynamic web application. An example of that could be the Facebook, the LinkedIn, all those social platforms we use nowadays. Those are all dynamic, application. Okay. So like I said, web development is divided into two broad, phases. One, we have the front end and the back end. So what is front end? Front end basically is the user interface. For example, when you take your phone right now and head into your let's say browser and type in the URL for the this platform, the TIT, what you are going to see first, that landing page, or what we're going to display on your screen first is what we refer to as the front end. That's the user interface. Basically, it can also be referred to as the side, the client side. That side, the user see, when they plug in the information. Okay, so that's the front end. So basically, we're going to be talking about the front end technology. Like I said, technology basically means the languages. So there are 3 main programming languages in terms of building the front end of a website. That is the HTML, the CSS, JavaScript. So we are going to be looking at this thing more in detail in the next slide. But basically, HTML stands for the hypertext markup language, while the CSS stands for the acronym CSS stands for the cascading style sheet, and we have JavaScript. So this figure you are seeing right here illustrate these 3 key languages in web front end development. So under these 3 languages, you see soft, let's say, how can I refer to them? Let's say framework, like this one, Bootstrap is a framework. It's a framework that has within it HTML and CSS formula, let's say format. So when you insert Bootstrap into your web application, that simply means you are enhancing productivity while of you. So web end development. Now in detail, we'll talk about HTML. Like I said, HTML is just let's say the acronym HTML stands for hypertext markup language, and basically it it describes the layer of the web page. Absolutely, when you build your website with only HTML, you are not going to see nothing there. It's going to be pure text. Those text you are going to put in and images. But if you want your website to look beautiful, then you have to add CSS to it. CSS do the start, it give the decoration to the web page or the website. And with Bootstrap, what Bootstrap does is it enhances the productivity. It makes the development of the app even more faster, because most of these things that you'll be needing are already been developed, are already been set up. All you need to do is just to go and extract it and embed it into your let's say your code, and you get exactly what you want. So but this is something I want you to get clear. Yesterday the speaker that spoke, he made measure of it when someone asked him what's the difference between a static website and that of a dynamic website. A static website is the one that is built only with hardcore HTML, CSS. These websites are static; they don't do anything at all. But if you want your website to be dynamic, there wherein you have to use some back end languages like the PHP, MySQL, where you'll be collecting the data, the user will be importing all of it. And we will talk about that more in our next slide. So going further, we are now going to be looking at the back-end development. So what is back-end development? Like I said, back-end development control what goes on the front end. So for example, when you go on the the TIT website, you see some information there. Those information did not just come there, it's because, it's with the help of the back end. They have, I believe they do have a database that supply this information on their front end. So basically, the how they call it, the back end supplies the front end with all the necessary information you see there. Yeah, those videos you can be witnessing and all of it, the source of them all are from the back end in terms of technology. So and the back end development tools for now are, we are going to be looking at two, the SQL and that of PHP. Yeah. So, but before that, I want us to look at the structure here that illustrate the whole structure of the web development. You see a website basically includes these three components. You have the user here, you have the front end, and you have the back end. So how can I explain this to you to understand? You see the user here is you and myself. And the front end is actually displayed on a device like the one I'm presenting on, or like the one you all having right now. So for example, when you, like I said, when you the user plug in TIT website, you are the first thing, this information going to go to the how they call the front end here, but it doesn't work that way. After you plug in, it will come here, then it will be sent to the database. Why? Because we need to counter check the how they call the URL or that data or whatever information you send will be sent to the database to counter check to make sure whether we have this. If it is there, you can see the arrow you're going back, pointing back. So if it is there, the database or the server will send that to our front end. And then you, the user, will see the final display. So I hope that is clear. So like I said, basically we are going to be looking at two key languages or technology for, or we can say technologies for the backend. That is the SQL and the, let's say, PHP. So with this, we'd like to do just a mini how they call demonstration, so you can see how the back end correspond with that of the front end. But before then, SQL stands for Structured Query Language. A common definition could be a language used to enter our databases. We use SQL to enter our or to communicate with our database. If you want to retrieve a data from a database, you need SQL. Yeah, so that's why people say if you want to become a data analyst, you need to know SQL. If you want to become a database administrator, you need to know SQL. So like I said, just a little demonstration of how the SQL PHP works. So I will take you to just a minute, please. Hope you are here.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. Okay.
So I'm going to take you to my co-editor or my IDE, however you call it. So this is my co-editor, right? I'm programming a mini project here. This is just a user article registration form. Let's say, for instance, TIT want to get information of every group members. So we need to do a mini form. So yeah, I just programmed the one before the the presentation. So basically, this is how it's going to work. If you come in my browser, this is the form, right? We have this group membership form, wherein we ask the user to plug in their name, the user phone number, and that of the group which they are in. So let's try something right now and see what happens. Okay, Melvin Tama, my phone number, I try this, and I say I'm from the web development group, and I want to submit this information. You see, I have an error. Only data analyst or database administrator can relate to this, or someone who understands the SQL language can relate to what's going on here. So actually what is happening here is that there is no database selected. So because those information we collected we are telling SQL, or we are telling this form, this submit form, that we want to save this information into a database. But when we submit it, the SQL standing up, SQL under, my SQL underline, SQL exception, no database selected. So we don't have a database. And our show you that, and shortly we'll be creating a database and we'll work this thing out just fine. So let's come into my code. If you see down here what we do, because of time factor, I will not be able to teach you how to code all this, line by line. I'm not going to do that, but I will just show you how this information I transfer from one web page to another. So if you look at here, this one you see here, dialog, DB underscore name, this actually should be our database, but because we don't have a database right now, so we leave it blank. So okay, you and myself now going to create a database, then we will connect it here and we see how this information will be saved into our database. So let us head to our SQL, our Zim. This is okay, and this is something I will discuss in the coming slide. But for now, let's create our database. Just hit on this army. Just a minute, please. Okay. So okay, this is our PHP Miami. When you are building a web application, you need this. This is one of the tools you will need. This is Zim. Without this and without this Zim, you won't be able to run a PHP code. So you will need this. So okay, without any delay, let's create our database. One thing I want you to understand is SQL is very simple. It's a very pure English. Just how you can say create something. That's how we say it in this language. For example, you want to create this database. They are telling us to give the database name. We could even do it by calling, but I don't want to waste your time. So I'm just going to type our database name here, which is TIT. Let's see, our database name is TIT. We'll create. You see, database has been created, right? And you see the display here. If you look down here, I hope you are seeing this. Now, can you hear me?
We can see it. We can hear you as well.
Okay, this is our database we just created. There's absolutely nothing in this database. A database is just a collection of information stored in an organized format. That's a database. So now we create that object that we want to save our information. Those information, the name, the number, and that of the group name, we want to save them in a very organized, let's say order. So we need a database. And so after you have created your database, the next thing you need to create is a table. You see a create table. So let's give a table name. We say TBL underscore user. Let's name our table TBL underscore user. What this number of columns mean? This means there are going to be four columns in our table. We're going to have 4 columns in our table. So we agree to that and we say go. Okay, so this is what you need to do here. Okay, when this interface pop up, what you need to do here, you need to supply these columns. These are all columns, but you need to supply them with a name. For the first column, when creating a table in a database, the first column will always be the primary key, which will carry the ID. So for us here, we will say user underscore ID, right? And this is something that we all should be familiar with by now. When you have the basis of Python or other programming languages like C, Java, we talk about something called, let's say the type of hardcore data. We have not type of data, but when we have the string, we have the integers, we have the so when it is a number, because they underscore user ID will be a number, so we save it as a string, as an integer. They are in system for integer. Then the next one that come in will be a name. We say name. So since it's a name, that is no string. So we save it as a voucher. This one, and the next one gonna be form. We could save form as let's say as an integer, but for this practice, we would like to save it as a voucher. So, and then the next one, the last one here will be our group here, our group underscore name. So group name, and it's also going to be voucher. And next next thing you want to do is you need to give the length of these values. So for instance, but this one with the primary key, the level you can leave that empty, and yeah, it will be just fine. But for this one, let's say, for example, we say it's 50 because some names can be really long, and then numbers too can sometimes be long. We set it to be 50, but it can take the length of a article value can be as long as 250. Yeah. But for now, for practice sake, we are going to take 50. So we are done here. One last thing you will need to do here is you have to make this, like I said, this first column need to be a primary key. So you drag this thing to the side and look for where you see here index. You choose primary. Then the AR stands for auto increment. Yeah, after you do primary, you say go. That's right. This AR stands for auto increment, so you have to click this. What that does is you don't need to manually type in. If, for example, when you put the first user, you say this is user number 1. No, the system itself will automatically do that. Will do the counting for you. That's why it's an auto increment. So coming down here, we save this. With this, our table has been created. This is our table, but it is empty. Our table is empty. There's nothing in it. I can even show you here in another side. For example, here I can come here. I say use TIT. Our database is TIT. You say TIT. Use TIT. You come down here. You say select. This is here we are working now. You say select.
Melvin, just some information. You have 5 minutes left.
Okay. Select all from TBL_user. So I just want to show something. This table is empty now. There's nothing in this table. You see, this is empty. Nothing is in this table. So okay, so we want to populate this table with information using our front end. So we will come here, but before then we need to solve that problem in our code. And what is it? Here we need to give our database a name, which is TRT, and then we will come here also because we'll be displaying this information on the front end too. So we have to give the database a name here, TRT. So okay. So then one next we will do here is after we have settled this thing, we'll go back to our browser. Then let's try to send this information now. Our information is sent. So if you come here, you view, you should be able to see that. You see Melvin is from web development and what have you. And this is on this side of the web page will only be seen by the administrator, the database administrator, or whosoever is managing that system. But this side will be accessed by the user, me and you. If we are applying to TIT, program, we use this side like their website. If we want to view videos and all of you, we use this side. So okay. Then one last thing you need to see, if you even come here to the code I run here, you need to see that. Just select this one and run here. You see the information is in our database already. Okay, because of time factor, I won't be able to go in depth with with what I needed to do. So let's just run through our PPT and call this a day. So okay, so like I said, some web development tools, this one, Sublime Test, the one I'm using right now, is Sublime Test. It's used to do your coding work. It's a code editor or IDE level, we developer refer to it. Then we have the VS Code, the one the presenter was using yesterday. Then we have this one called Python. Python is mostly used for Python. That's this Python is what I use to do some mini Python project and what have you. And we also have one amazing one again is Atom. That one is very easy to use. It highlight the error spelling and what have you. So if you are really looking for something to start your practice in, I recommend Atom or this Sublime Test. But with Sublime Test, for every line of code you write, you need to save it. So there be aware of that. Then we'll have the article, Notepad. Then for the back end section, we will have the XAMPP, this one I'm using right now, and then we'll also be having MySQL database, but there are a lot more databases out there, like the Oracle, like the how do you call this one? The SQL, like there are so many, yeah, that I cannot recall on right now. Okay, so on this our next slide we have useful link. One thing I will leave with you all today is, if you are that kind of person that want to join into web development, or let's say technology as a whole, you need to give yourself that extra time. You need to practice, all by yourself. You don't need to rely on what you get from the school or the professor. They will not give you all that you need. So if you are that person who is eager to learn these things, these are useful links that you can check out, like the WTD School. It's a very amazing site that you can learn almost everything. The only thing about WTD School, upon completion of the course, when you need the certificate, you have to pay for it. But their module, the course module is very sequential order that very well arranged, and you enjoyed learning on that platform. Then with the TIT network, because everything that we do here today will be posted there, so that website is amazing. With all of their social platform, when you follow, you get to learn many tricks. Yeah, then we have another amazing one called Ellison. For this one, it's not on a computer, but whatever you want to learn with management, finance, all those courses are there, and it's absolutely free. The only time you have to pay money is when you need a certificate or diploma, because they do offer diploma in some of their courses. Then we
okay. The time is running out. You are doing
okay. Then let me just conclude. Okay, we'll take off. Okay, thank you very kindly for giving us this time. And actually, I must confess that we got to learn so many things while we are here. And yeah, so my last word for anyone that is wanting to join into tech, I say tech is amazing. Now everyone is transitioning to technology, and I can tell you for sure that technology is the future. So you will not be making any mistake by going that path. So yeah, these are our team members, and that was done by my.
That way I want to pause you. So don't end the slide. Don't end it. Okay. So I want to hear from the team member to know if they are here. So
okay.
Yeah. Comfort, are you there? Please unmute yourself. Comfort.
Okay, for Comfort, she might not be in the call, but she asked me, because at this time I believe she will be in class. She actually wrote me telling me that she will not be able to make it to the presentation. She's going to be in class. Yeah, so you can call for the next person, please.
What about Pee-wee Sumo? Pee-wee was Sumo?
Yeah.
Okay, Emmanuel, Wisdom, Garden. Emmanuel, Wisdom.
I think he's on Zoom. I don't know.
He's on Zoom. I see him already.
Yeah, he's on Zoom.
Okay. Daniel Hunter.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Napoleon K. Dixon. Napoleon K. Dixon.
Yeah, he chatted a few minutes ago. I think he might be facing some technical issue. So you want to consider that?
He chatted and he said what?
That's what I'm saying. He told me that he was facing some technical issues. So yeah, perhaps he haven't
okay,
get into sudden out.
Comfort, I just sent a message on the Tencent. She's online.
Okay, that's fine.
Elda Obami. Elsa, if I pronounce it right. Morgani.
Melvin, I have internet problem.
Yeah, okay, I told the guy already.
Okay, Elsa, I got you. Beatrix, Fred.
No, that was Napoleon speaking. He said he had internet problem.
Yeah, I got it. I'm going to the next person, Beatrix.
Yes, I'm here.
Arvin Carr. Arvin Carr. Arvin, give you any information?
Yes, Arvin he's a final year student. He will be graduating, I think, in a few months. So he's kind of busy with the PPT. You say with TCP.
Miata Tesla.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay, guys, thank you so much.
But one last thing I want you to know, all these people contributed, significantly to this project. So yeah. So
yeah, I know you are playing the role of a leader. I understand that. So, but guys, thank you so much for your presentation. That was wonderful. And your certificate, I can verify that all of you get a certificate beginning tomorrow for this team. Not everyone on this platform, for this team. So thank you so much. Now let's switch to the group of Stephen Swa and Makwela Donchiniki. Networking group send a presentation to the Senate. Nipan Jalata is Senate. So networking people, Makwela Donchiniki, Stephen Swa, if you are there, please, it's your time. The next group will be the cybersecurity people. Networking people is your time. Who's starting first or whatever it is? How you guys organize yourself? Cybersecurity people is Toba.
Hello.
Yeah. Who's that?
This is Steven Soa from the networking group 1.
Okay. You can go ahead, Steven.
Yeah, so Don, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah,
so, I'm here.
Yeah, can you share your screen? Your PPT with us.
Okay.
So guys, you have 20 minutes for your presentation.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Check in the lower corner here, or you can press F5 on your keyboard. F5 to put in presentation mode, or you can come down here in the lower right corner, the one beside the Zoom. What are you trying to look for? Tom. Are you trying to put in presentation mode? What?
Yeah, no, I think we'll just do it like that. I'm just trying to unmute myself so that I can, tell him to go ahead. That's all. So he can we understand like this.
It's okay like this?
Just put in presentation mode, please. Press F5.
Okay. Yeah, I'm doing it, but it's still not going.
Okay, enable editing. There are yellow bar you see up here.
There, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Press F5 again. Let's see. Okay. All right, you're good to go.
Okay, guys. This is networking TIT OWCC 2023 Group 1. So let's get to the next slide quick. We don't have much time yet. So our group members are Makwela Don, we have Steven Swa, we have Julius Tue, we have Joseph, we have Prince 4, Jeremiah, we have Abraham, we have Samuel, we have Williams, and we have Avin. So these are our group members, and in this group, we all hold a meeting and come to a conclusion with a particular topic, and then there are 2 people who are going to do the presentation. Our main presentation and the main topic will be presented by Makwela, and then I will just do a brief introduction about networking. Let's go to the next slide. So, like I said today, our topic will be on mobile networking. Okay, because there are different kinds of networking, but today we'll be talking about mobile networking. And these are the outline that we will be going through, or introduction to general networking, and then we have the type of network and the goals, the main goals of networking. And then the main topic will be discussing about mobile networking, and then the type of mobile networks, and then how does mobile network, operate, and what are the goals and benefits of mobile networking. So these are the few things I need to take into consideration while going through. So, we cannot just begin to discuss about mobile networking without knowing the broad idea or the general idea about networking. Someone might ask, what is networking? So we try to define networking as linking of computers or electronic devices that allow them to operate interactively and share information within a given system. So networking is just any method of connecting your PC or other computers system, with the aim of sharing information. And then we have different types of network. We have different type of network. Okay, so there are various type of network. We have like personal area network, we have local area network, we have wireless, local area network, we have campus area network, we have metropolitan area network, and we have wide area network. Now, this network can be this different type of network can be differentiated by their size, structure, distance, and purpose. Okay, so based on the particular geographical location and the structure in the form in which that network is organized, you can be able to determine which type of network is this. So talking about personal area network, we can look at this in so personal area network. Okay, yeah, go to the next slide. Okay, then what is the main aim and goal? What is the main aim, right, of networking? Why should people network? What's all about networking? So when about networking, you think, what should come to your mind should be about sharing of resources. That's the main aim of networking. It is there to create, all programs, data, and hardware accessible to anyone on the network without considering the resources, physical area or location, and the client. Okay, so according to the diagram here, these are different network, right? So they are all connected through cable, some are connected through wireless. So basically the network can be connected two different ways. So you have a network that can be connected through wirelessly, and then there's another network that can be connected through wire, which you have to do the network cabling. So the main reason or the main purpose that we network is to share resources, and these resources include sharing of file, MP3, your videos, email, transaction, e-commerce, application, printing, and etc. Like today, the first presenter said, sometimes you have a website, right? You have your website now. You need a server to host your website. Now, if your server hosts your website, by default or by the initial state, that server or those in that area can only be able to access that website through networking. So the ability that once able to leave to be to their location and able to access a website from different location, that alone is networking. Even if you have your Bluetooth where you're able to connect, your Bluetooth to another, device, can be your PC or another device or common device like mobile phone. You're able to transfer data. You're also doing networking. So that's the broad idea about networking. So let's get to our topic. So Dom, if you are there, yes, you can take off from there.
Okay, Stephen, thank you for that brief introduction to networking, and he helped us to know what it goes and how networking works. So you guys can hear me, right?
Yes, we can hear you. Can hear you.
Okay, thank you.
No, all right,
So like my colleague already stated like what networking is and how it works and how it goes around. So but what we're gonna be discussing here today is mobile networking, right? So we'll be going over the introduction just to mobile networking and what we can learn about it. So these are things that we're gonna go over. So firstly, to know about mobile networking, we have to know like the definition about mobile networking. So like, what is a mobile network? You know, so here the definition we have is a mobile network is a communications network that is spread out over an immense land area around the world and connected wirelessly by transceivers at fixed locations that are known as cell sites or base stations. So what we're talking about is like, we got like cell towers at every location, right? All around the world. People can be able to connect with different people from long distances. And these transceivers and cell towers and cell sites, they serve as base stations to help, like transfer like data and services so you can be able to contact someone or send an information through. So these transceivers, they communicate wirelessly based on the old principle of radio signals. So the mobile network, they work by using radio, like the old radio signals, like everybody, I think back then, if you started having your first mobile phone or maybe a radio, if you own a radio, you'll notice like you have to use an antenna or something to be able to get a signal from the radio tower, so you can be able to receive the information that is being shared on air for that particular time. So that same signal that a radio uses is the same signal that a mobile network uses in order to, receive and send out data or information. It's the same way, it works. So mobile network, it helps to connect people from different parts of the world and other locations. That's one of the main things it does. So now, like one of the main usage is what? Sharing information. There on the top left corner, you're gonna see like it's a message box. On the top right, it's something like an email. And these are all information, that are being shared around. You use mobile network, to share this information from one person to another, and it goes around and around and around. So you can use a cell phone to share information, meaning like you can do it by a phone call, either a phone call, or you can send a text message or something. So these are all things that fall under mobile networking. Yeah, it makes mobile networking really great. So now we come down to like the types of mobile networks, So we have like various types of mobile networks that are being used all around the world, right? So like just few of them like that are being used around the world, like what are just some of the types. So we see here like mobile networks vary, right? Based on producer, and can be like it can either be a 3G, 4G, or 5G, or WAN or LAN. But they all use the same essential system. So that is the first element is like a public switch telephone network. The public switch telephone network is sends signal to the mobile phone switching office, which transmits the signal to cell sites. I think we talked about the cell sites on our previous page on the PPT. So these cell sites, like, it helps to transmit signals all around so that people can be able to receive the necessary information that they are trying to put through, or they are trying to receive from someone who's far away or in another place. So like they transmit these signals to the cell sites, and then the cell sites transmit them like electronically to another person's mobile cell. So like you see here, so the signal, and then the electrical signals is sent by what? A radio signal to a mobile subscriber unit. So if someone is using a mobile phone, or if they're connected to a mobile network, they will be able to receive this signal like that have been transmitted electronically, using the same radio or signal or radio network that people use way back then. So this is how it works. So like another thing here, we about to talk about what is a mobile data network, right? So a mobile data network is a system that transmits and receives radio signals to mobile subscribers' devices. It is also like similar to a wireless network, but it has unique elements. So the mobile data network, right? It helps to transmit these signals like wirelessly. Like you don't need to connect a wire, like do it manually or something. You can do it wirelessly and connect to someone who's far away or in another part of the world. It's possible that it can work that way too. That's what a mobile data network is. So we go there. So like, how does a mobile network work? So here, firstly, we see like mobile phones, right? They work by sending and receiving low power radio signals, like much like a two-way radio, right? System. The signals are sent to and received from antennas that are attached to radio transmitters and receivers, commonly referred to as mobile phone base stations. So if we take the example of the radios, like our normal radios that people owned back then back in Liberia or something, you'll notice that the radios is just a one-way thing, right? So you only receive signals and and get information from the radio, but you're not able to contact the person who's giving out those signals, or you're not able to get on the same station or whatever, or to say something, to get connected to them. You only receive the information, but you're not able to send information out. But it's different, like with a mobile networking, right? It works the same way, but it's just that this one is going to be like a two-way radio system. So you can receive signals at the same time, you can send signals out. So the signals are sent to and received from our antennas that are attached to radio transmitters and receivers. So they are commonly referred to as well the mobile phone base stations. So users' mobile telephone communicates through the air with a base station antenna, which in turn links the central exchange of the operator, which is a computer. So like in a cell tower or cell station, there are computers that are operates and transmits these signals that someone is trying to connect with another person somewhere. This computer will help you link up with another person that's far away. So it turns into a central exchange of the operator. They allow you guys to talk or exchange data with each other. So now the path of your mobile data is is really simple, right? The device establishes a connection with the nearest cell tower using radio waves and starts sending data. So there are towers that are placed all around the world, so if you try to call someone, get in contact with someone, the call will hit the nearest cell tower using a radio wave, and then that cell tower will connect you to someone who is far away and closer to another cell tower in their area, and then you guys can be able to talk. So that's how it works. Similar to like for example, we compare it to like Liberia, right? If you're in Liberia, you notice that someone in Buchanan can be able to contact someone who's living in Monrovia. So the cell tower in Buchanan will allow you to connect with the cell tower in Monrovia and connect you with a person who's trying to reach you from Monrovia, and then both of you can be able to talk. I think if you look up here in the upper right corner, you'll see something similar in a little picture up here that's being displayed up here. You see two individuals that are trying to connect each other, and they both have separate cell towers. So if this individual try to call, the call is going to be transmitted to this tower here, and then it's going to be sent to another tower, and then the person whose file is going to be receiving it from the tower that's nearest to them. That's how it works.
So you got 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes to go.
The mobile network uses technologies based on electromagnetic radiation.
Don, can you hear me?
Okay, thank you. So that's how it works. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay.
So this is just a picture showing how it works. So this is another picture how mobile phones work and other things. So what are the goals and benefits of mobile networking? So you see here, like cellular networks are increasingly like used for more than voice call, right? They like improve for handsets on the network, and they increase data transfer speeds, and like they result in the development of range or sophisticated mobile phones or smartphones and handle PCs, tablets, and other mobile devices. So what it mean here, like they speed up the system. If you are gonna send maybe letter or something to someone, it's gonna take longer to reach. But using a cell phone just to give the messages out, it's gonna be very fast and other thing. So we have the 4G, the fourth generation, the 3G, the third generation, the GPS, global position system. Everything it falls under like a mobile networking, right? So now, the fifth generation, that's the 5G. It's like in its infancy, it's a new thing, right? But it relies on a new technology that runs on higher frequencies, so that it can be able to help boost the 4G network rather than replace it. So cellular network technology, like it offers additional ways for networking and mobile devices worldwide. It covers everything else, so you can be able to connect to someone anywhere. That's how it's done. So so if you look at mobile technology like smartphone and other devices, it gives you access to the internet and make work easier for you. You can work remotely from anywhere if you have a mobile network or mobile device. So it's mobile communication is the use of technology. It allows you to communicate with others from different locations without the use of any physical connection or what have you. So yeah. So this is just an overview of how the mobile network works. So you can see the picture of the 4G and everything else under there. So thank you. So if you got any questions, no problem. I'll be taking questions now.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, mobile network people. Thank you so much for giving us insight and concept as to what happened with mobile networking. Thank you so much. So let me just do what I did for the first team. I understand that you have 10 persons. So I want to hear
Yes,
from
sure.
from them if they are here. Stephen Swa, are you here?
I'm here, but some of our guys, anyway, just go ahead. Because some of them take excuse, I don't know. Just go ahead.
Don't can you just go to the second slide that has the name of your group member? Okay.
There you go.
All right, so Julius Twe. Julius Twe, are you here?
He's there. The guy seems like very network. He's there.
Okay, so let me check. I'm coming. Just a minute. Julius, if you are there, if you are hearing us, because you should be following your group presentation, just send a message in the chat box. So let's take the next person. I'm waiting for Julius' text. Joseph Dolo. Joseph Dolo.
Guys, please, if you are there and if you are there, just send a message in the group. If you are in Zoom, if you are using Zoom, you can send a message, on the Zoom platform. If you are using Tencent, also send messages in the Tencent chat room so that.
All right, so we got Joseph on the Zoom platform. He's on Zoom. Julius Tour, we are here to hear from him. Let's take Prince for Freeman. Freeman, are you here? Freeman? Okay, he's there in the chat box. Jeremiah Say
Yes, I'm here, CEO.
Okay, Abraham Keita, are you here?
Abraham Keita, I think ask for excuse, but this time I think he will be in Torah, he will be in class, but this time.
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Abraham is here. Samuel Freeman. Samuel Freeman. Okay, Samuel Freeman is on Zoom. Williams A. Crawford. William A. Crawford, are you here? Okay,
Yeah, he's here on Tencent.
Okay. Alvin P. Nimland. Okay, Alvin is on Zoom. So Julius is, we are not here from Julius, but I think I also verified the attendance as well for your team. And I can verify that all of you will have your certificates. Your group is verified, and tomorrow we start to distribute the certificate. Thank you so much. But Makola Donchiniki, there's a question here from Zoom to your team.
Yeah.
And the question is, what are the limitations of wireless network? What thing can get wireless network happen?
Steven, you want to answer that question, or I should go ahead?
Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Well, like if you look at in a mobile field or in wireless networking, they got something called bandwidth, right? So like bandwidth can give a wireless network hard time, like it can like cover everywhere, and also they got something called breaches in network security. So those are things that can give wireless network hard time. So if you got a breach in your wireless like network security, it will give you a hard time. Also, if the bandwidth, meaning like it can cover up everywhere, like the tower, like the range of the tower, it can like cover everywhere. Those are things that can affect a wireless network. Yeah.
Okay, so I think you have listened to your answer. Yeah, there's no other question from Zoom. I think it's okay from that end. So thank you guys so much for your presentation. And tomorrow you start to receive your certificates. If you are on, tomorrow maybe I'll talk about it as well. But if you are there, we're gonna share the certificate via your email, your WhatsApp. You want it through WhatsApp, we can send you you want it through WeChat, through Facebook. Just let us know. You can send us message, wherever you can find us. And we're going to share your certificate via that medium. Thank you so much. You can stop sharing, or maybe I can override for you from my end. The next team is cybersecurity. So cybersecurity people, if you are there, don't be having difficulties sharing. Let me just override from here. Cybersecurity people, are you there?
Yes, we are here.
Okay, you can go ahead and share your PPT and start a presentation. You have 20 minutes. But before you start, Charlotte, sorry, there is another guy from, I think he sent me a PPT while the other group was presenting. He's from the networking group. Come, let me meet this person out. He sent a PPT, but this PPT don't have any group member name. I sent you a message on WhatsApp. So if you are there following, you can please check. I sent you a message. He's from the networking group. I think from group 2 or something. He was the one asking why his name is not in the PPT for group 1. So the PPT you sent me, you don't have any group member name. You don't even have your name. You don't have any specific topic. So just check your WhatsApp. I've sent you a message. You can respond to that. So cybersecurity.
For group one, all members' names are if anybody in a group, if they're in group 1, they should go to group 2.
Yes, so the people who are presented, I already see the name that was shown here. You cannot modify again. So group 1 for networking is done. Group 1 for web development is done. There is a group 2 from networking that was sent, but they have limited information there. We don't know the group member. We don't know even the person that created the PPT. So cybersecurity people, you can go ahead. And this will be the last one. If these guys can modify their PPT from networking group 2, then it will be coming after cybersecurity people. Besides, I have not received any other PPT again from any group. I will be taking it as the last one after this one. And after this one, I have a networking demonstration to do, probably for 10 minutes, and then we call it a day. So we're going to leave from here soon today. Just to show you how we can do the actual thing using a simulation platform called Packet Tracer, which many of you that are doing networking are familiar with. So we're going to use Packet Tracer to build a simple network and see how computer can communicate on a network using live demonstration, no PPT. So that's it. Cybersecurity people, go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is, before I can,
Jonathan, are you the one speaking? Because another talk about microphone.
yeah, Toba send you.
No,
Toba
Toba should
send
be the
you.
one speaking.
Okay, then Jonathan, please.
Are you serious?
No,
Hello,
screen.
sir.
We can see your screen. Toba, we can see your screen. Use the tab button starting from your left. There is a small screen you see with an arrow inside. Just press it. It's for sharing screen.
Okay, yes, I'm following the process.
All right. I think by default they should allow you to share the desktop. So you can just go to the default one. Okay, it's coming up. We can see it now.
Okay.
It's clear, bro. We can see
Thank you
it.
very much. Okay, my name is Toba Visenju, a student practicing illegal hacking, and I'm also from Liberia. Before people can start this, I think you are seeing my screen. Here is our group member. We are Toba Visenju, Jara Gibson, Steven, Janeto, Mercy, Joseph, Joan, and Julio. Here.
Please put it in a presentation mode.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
We are from the cybersecurity department, and we are group one members for TRT Online Winter Computer Concept Program 2023. Our topics here, we're going to discuss hacking concept, tips, phases of hacking, and also we'll talk a little bit about cybersecurity and its importance. So everyone in our group, I want to ask whether everyone in our group present, or you got people who are supposed to talk about the various aspect of the topic. Give me a minute, please.
We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay.
Who is starting the presentation? Please go
Maybe
ahead.
John will be talking on hacking and hackers. Steven will be.
Who is speaker number one, guys? Somebody hide your device.
I'll be speaking on hacking and the types of hackers. Tukpa.
I think you're having a network issue, or maybe somebody's hacking.
I will take the initiative. Here we talk about and the phases of hacking, type of hackers rather, and the phases of hacking. So first, we won't talk about hacking when we should know the meaning of the terms hacking. Here we said hacking is information security refers to exploiting the vulnerability in system and compromising the security to gain unauthorized command and control over the system resources. We also talk about the purpose. The purpose of hacking may include the modification of system resources, disruption of features and services to achieve goals. It can also be used to steal information for any use, like sending it to competitors, regulatory bodies, and politicizing the sensitive information. And we also, when you define the word hacking, you should also know who a hacker is. So, with our definition we found here is we said hacker is the person who is smart enough to have unauthorized access to information such as business data, personal data, financial information, credit cards, information, user, and password from system by taking unauthorized control that
Your connection is actually terrible.
use.
Are you moving? Are you sitting in a comfortable
Different
place?
techniques. I'm coming. I'm setting a comfortable place, but no problem easy. Since 2 days we have been trying to buy data in a place we can easily get access to it. Just this morning it's trying to send message that the problem has been resolved, but it's still going.
Okay, we're managed. Go ahead.
Okay, like I was saying, the hacker is one who is smart enough to have an unauthorized access to information such as business data, personal data, financial information, credit card information, user, and password from the system by taking unauthorized control over that system using different techniques and tools. The hacker has great skills, ability to develop software and exploit software and hardware. Their intention can either be doing illegal things or sometimes they are paid to do something illegal. Okay, next, we'll talk about type of hackers. We selected somebody who's supposed to talk about this part, but I don't know whether they are available now. Stevie Young, are you around? Hello, sir.
Guys, you have 20 minutes to present. Please be fast.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out whether Stevie Young is active. If Stevie Young is not around, but then we can use Joseph. Joseph, are you there?
Man, the certificate will be on hold.
Mercy, are you there?
Joseph is online. Hello? You getting me?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Joseph, we hear you.
Hello?
Please go ahead.
Hello?
Okay, see,
Senator,
I want to take an initiative. Yes.
Hello?
Joseph, you are hearing me?
Yeah, this is Joseph online, but I'm not.
Joseph connection is very terrible, so just go ahead.
I'm
just
not getting
leave it
any
from here.
feedback for anyone.
Joseph is okay. Please go ahead.
Okay. In hacking, in the topic we discussed, we want to talk about hackers. We talk about list of hackers around here. We got black hat hackers. We said they are hackers that are dealing with malicious and destructive activities with extraordinary skills, also known as crackers. There are people who can crack system without asking for permission. They can enter into some system there to destroy activities in people's system. Then we have suicide hackers. The suicide hackers are those who aim for destruction without worrying about punishment. They are kind of people. They are the kind of hackers who can hack into system. If they are guilty, they don't have any worry whether they will kill them, whether they will jail them. They don't have any worry. Then we got cyber terrorists. They say they are skilled individuals motivated by religious or political belief. Hello, sir.
Go ahead, please.
Are you hearing me? Yeah, we say some people are skilled individuals motivated by religious or political belief, attacking on large scales to create fear. Sometimes look at hack up when they hack system like government website or something that everybody rely on. Now they publish the information for people to have the fear, for people to have the fear of losing their privacy. Then also get white hat hackers. They say they are security analysts, individual with hacking skills using them for defensive purpose. And that's the kind of person, that kind of department I want to find myself in. Okay. Also have state sponsor hackers. They say they are hackers who government use them to spy on other countries. To spy on other countries like their military system, all top secret information to spy on other countries. Then we get grey hat hackers. They say grey hat hackers are those who work both offensively and defensively. They are the kind of people, they are the dangerous people in society, because sometimes if they are working in a company, then they have full access to a company resources and networking system. They can also sometimes use it to do bad against that company. They are skilled KDs. They say they are unskilled hackers. They use tools that other people build to carry on hacking. Well, they are hacktivists. They are hackers promoting political agenda, like the way we are about to end the election year. Opposition sometimes they will use government website to defame the system. They give misinformation on government website. And that's all we talk about hacking phases. In hacking phases, we get reconnaissance. We get reconnaissance. This is the initial preparing phase for the attacker to get ready for attack by gathering the information about the target before launching an attack using different tools and techniques. So before you can start hacking, the first thing you must make sure who you want to hack or which company you want to hack. If you know the kind of company you want to hack, you must follow hacking phases before you can carry on with hacking. Let's also talk about scanning. In the hacking process, when you finish identifying your victim, then you have to scan the victim network. So is it interface? This is a pre-attack phase. In this phase, attackers scan the network by information acquired during the initial phase of reconnaissance. The scanning tools include data scanner such as port scanner, network mappers, client tools such as ping, as well as vulnerability scanners. During the scanning phase, attacker finally fetches the information of ports, including port status, operating system the person use or the company using, then the type of machine they're using, and also their geolocation. We also talk about gaining access. In the hacking phase, if you do a recon, after finding the person or the company you want to hack, then you scan their network. If we have access to the network, then the next phase to gain access to the network. In the next phase, hacker is the point. This phase of hacking is the point where the hacker gets control over an operating system, the application the company using, or the computer network, the kind of computer network they're using. Is a control gained by the attacker define the access level, such as operating system level, application level, network level access. Is that technique includes password cracking. After you finish gaining access to the victim machine. Now you carry on techniques. You try cracking their password, or either stopping them for them having access to their own machine, or either you will be between, like session hijacking. You either be between the victim and someone try to send messages through the company. You will be the middleman to control that information. When the person sends a message, you as a hacker, you will stand and either paraphrase the message, send it to the receiver. So sometimes they also call it session hijacking. Also, or we call buffer overflow. And others are used to gain or authorized access. Then hacking phase number 4. If you gain access to
you have 7 minutes. You have 7 minutes.
If you gain access to the victim machine, then you have to maintain the access. If you gain access, you need to maintain the ownership, because you already taking ownership of somebody else property. So you need to maintain the ownership. Is that in the the point where when an attacker is trying to maintain the access, ownership, and control over the compromised system. Similarly, attacker prevent the owner from being owned by any other hackers. Then also, if you maintaining the access, you should also be able to hire yourself in the system. If you already hacking somebody's system, you must be able to hire yourself for the person to not notice whether you are the one doing it, or one so person from so place doing this one. So I said you will be able to clear the tracks. Is it an attacker must hide his identity by querying the track? Querying tracks are those activities which I carry out to hide the malicious activities. Querying tracks is most required for an attacker to fulfill their intention by continuing the access to the compromised system, remain undetected and gain what they want, remain unnoticed and wipe all evidence that indicate his identity. Then next up, we also talk about cybersecurity. In a digital world, one hacker is saying we need to talk about cybersecurity. And we say, what is cybersecurity? This cybersecurity is the practice of defending computer servers, mobile devices, electronic systems, network, and data from malicious attack. So they say in cybersecurity, you must practice. This is cybersecurity. You must practice how to protect your system from criminals for them to not take control over it. It also known as information technology security, electronic information security. Then next on we talk about the importance of cybersecurity. Is that the internet allows an attacker to work from anywhere on the planet. You can be right in the forest. You can still have access to somebody's system once you know the techniques and tactics of hacking. Then we also talk about is that in today's connected world, every benefit from advanced cyber defense program. Everyone benefit from advanced cyber security defense program. Like people doing cloud architect, cloud security, doing they get AWS, Amazon Web Service. They can people migrating from having their own access using all people data, all people company for that company to control their network system. Is there any rely on power infrastructure like power plant, hospitals, and financial service companies? Securing this and other organizations is essential to keeping our society functioning. So if the cybersecurity is not existing, or cybersecurity best practice is not existing, now everybody will be like confused, because as the world is developing, everyone developing new ideas every day. So we have to have cybersecurity specialists in the system. You can have your small business, your large business, your company. You will have somebody who's supposed to maintain your company resources to control the security system of your company. Then is it according to research? The top vector for vulnerability available to cyber criminals. Is it these are vectors like website. Somebody build a website, they don't secure their website. Hackers can track that website down and do whatever they want to do there. Like instant messaging clients, like chatting service. If the person, the developer who developed the chatting service, if the person don't know anything about, they don't really have the expertise when it comes to security knowledge to that conversation, one-on-one conversation between clients, hackers can easily track them down and get rid of the kind of data they want. It's a web application. People build web application. If they not secure it, then hackers can make use of it. So that's the reason in the digital world today, why hackers are growing on a daily basis, cybersecurity professionals should be growing to help protect our system. So for the presentation, I stopped at 5 because most of our colleagues, some of them said they were on training, some of them said they were in class. So I think I did my best.
Okay. Thank you so much for the presentation. So let's quickly hear from the team member. But guys, if you have any question from Zoom and Tencent, you can send your question in the chat box. Please go back. Okay, there. So Toba was you and Jala Gibson. Are you there? Toba, please mute yourself.
Let me just talk about Jala. Jala is one person who.
Toba, you can unmute yourself if you are speaking for Jala. Toba, you can unmute yourself if you are speaking for Jala. But Jala, if you are there, let's hear from you. Toba, we cannot hear you because you are muted. So if you are speaking for Jala, you can unmute yourself. Jala Gibson, are you here? I can see you in the chat box, the attendance listing.
CEO, Orlando.
Okay. October, please check your screen. The screen sharing has been paused. I think maybe you got a call or something. Let me check a backup of what you sent me. Steven.
Okay.
Yeah, October, it's okay.
Yeah,
Steven Young, are you here? Steven Young. Steven Young. Okay, let's take Jonathan Manston.
CEO, I'm here. Jala Gibson.
Okay, Jala, I got you. Jonathan, I got you. Let's take the next person. Mercer Menti. Mercer Menti. Come on, let me check Zoom to see if these people are here. So Mercer is not here. Steven Young also. I'm not here from Steven. Joseph Hills. Joseph. Joseph, are you here? Joseph Hills. So 3 person. Joan Bolen. Joan Bolen. Joan is untrained. Julio Combi. Mercer is here. Julio Combi. Julio and Stevens. Okay, guys, so thank you so much. I'll verify your group later on after the program and check the attendance and everything. Since they were not here for the presentation, the other people, I will also verify the attendance for them, and then those that qualify will receive their certificate. So thank you so much for sharing. But there's a question here, I think, from someone sent a question to you. Edmond Soma sent a question. He said he wants to know what you mean by dollar, the concept scanning.
That is a tools. It's a tools used in scanning.
Okay, so I think that would take it as an answer. So thank you so much. You can stop sharing. I think so far so good. That's the only team we have today, the 3 teams. So all of you that did not present today, you have tomorrow to do so. I'm coming to meet everybody right now. You have tomorrow. If you have not presented, you have tomorrow to do so. So why you know how to speak again? Please meet us. Your background is terrible.
Yeah, CEO.
What you say?
Tomorrow issue having tests to do tomorrow, so I don't think I'll be online tomorrow.
Yeah, just message me, please.
Okay, sir.
So that's all the presentation we have for today. Let me just do what I can, maybe for the next 30 minutes, and then we call it a day.
Man, Chara, check your WeChat.
I
check my WeChat phone and get internet, bro. I come in and check it.
So I come in stock all of that phone. Even allowing to speak now. Yeah, he said German chair, WeChat. You can message around WeChat. So guys, that's it. Thank you so much for your presentation. The 3 groups, 2 were verified, the other one, the last one, we verify it later on tonight. And then tomorrow, you will be informed if all of you guys qualify or not. So by tomorrow, we'll start sharing the certificates. So if you join later on, the certificates are already ready. For the speakers, all of them, they are all here. For the volunteers, everything is here as well. For the first 2 groups, all the certificates are in as well. The 3rd group from cybersecurity will create a certificate after this program. And you have to present before you get a certificate. We have been saying this. Please check the WhatsApp link. See, please share the link to the WhatsApp group. Part of my group yet. We did this every day, guys. Check the group. If you're just joining, we'll share again after the meeting. I can do it now. Or you just ask in the group. Somebody will share it. So today we're going to just stray you through networking, just to show you probably some other things that we're in cover. I understand what to discuss about networking, but we couldn't because of other situations. So let's take, for instance, we have an office space, or maybe we have this 2-story building, or 2 floors, or 5-story building, or 5 floors, or whatever diagram you might have, depending on the situation. It might just be an office space, like 1 floor, a flat, and then depending on your setup. So let's take this setup for example, where we have 2 floors. We can have a central router. Okay, but let's understand some basic concept first. Let me open up my command prompt, and then we'll first understand other things, because we're going to use it later on. You're going to see why we are using it. So we have something in networking called IP. We also have something called a subnet. We also have something called DHCP. We have something called DNS. We also have something called ARP, Address Resolution Protocol. We also have something called traceroute. So all of these things, they are used for different purposes. So for IP address, your computer actually, many of you, I think by now everyone knows that computer do not understand whatever we are typing, like these letters and numbers and stuff. They understand binaries. And how do we go about the binary concept? So the idea of binary concept and everything, we also ascribe it to IP addresses. So we have classes of IP. We have IPv4 version 4 and version 6. Version 4 was the first one to be released, but then when we have almost 10 billion devices currently that are connected to the internet, we ran out of IPs. So now IP version 6 has been introduced. But many devices are still using IPv4, and some network administrators are using something called classless inter-domain routing. Classless inter-domain routing is where we can be able to use slash notation, like you have /23, /16, /24. Based on the slash, it determines how many devices can connect to that network. For example, if we have /24, we have basically 254 devices that can be connected to that network. So if you have an office space where the employees are like 200 or less than 250, then you can use /24. But if they're going to be more, you can use /23, /20 moving forward. So IP address, let's see how an IP address looks like. So we say IP config. IP config is Internet Protocol Configuration. So IP stands for Internet Protocol. The config means configuration. We just call it short. So if you see here, an IP address looks like this. Oh, let me meet somebody from here. I don't know who this is. Andy Moore, please. Andy Moore. Andy Moore. I've met you many times. An IP address, this is an IPv4 address. Okay? It looks like this. It has like 4 octet. And each octet has 8 bits. Together we have 32. That's IPv4. Let me open up something here. This is subnet max. Based on the subnet max, we can determine how many devices can connect to the network. So like I talked about /24. This subnet max you are seeing is an example or representation of /24, meaning we can have up to 254 devices connecting to TIT network. This is the gateway of the network I'm currently connected to. This is the gateway. The gateway is serving as a bridge, as a door. Whatever thing you want to access through the internet passes through your gateway first. So if you want to visit, for example, let's say Baidu.com, we can do a trace route. We can do a trace route to Baidu.com or Google.com or whatever site. If you do a trace route to a website, you want to know how many routers or paths your connection is passing through before reaching Baidu.com. So you can see at the very first place that my connection went is through my gateway. If I ask on my network, can anybody give me Baidu.com on this network? So your gateway or serving as your router. In other offices, you will have dedicated servers. Like you will have a server, FTP server, you will have server for different purposes. Somebody might have file server. Somebody might have application server. So determine which thing you want to access. It will first try to use that default gateway or that server IP to first get to that. So you can see before we reach to Baidu.com, we're passing through different routes. So all of the routes, it takes like how many seconds it takes to reach Baidu.com. I'm going to leave it running, and then we're going to come back and see how many routes and what's the IP address of Baidu.com. You can also use it to find the IP address of that website. But basically, after running trace route, I can see that the IP address of Baidu.com is this one right here, 39.156.66.10. So if I copy this one and put it into my browser, I should also reach to Baidu.com. So I can tap Baidu.com, or I can also use the IP address. So either of them will take me to Baidu.com. For whatever reason, connection is so let I allow it to run again. So either of them will take you there. Still going, we still have more routes to Baidu. So you can use trace route. Let me open another terminal while that one is going through there. DHCP on the other hand, okay, it's event completed. So it takes us like 13 routes to reach Baidu.com. Let's see if Baidu allows to access.
CEO, can I ask you something?
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I read it because like every description people can be given here is only about Windows operating system. So we that using Mac OS, I don't know. Like what you were doing just now for displaying the IP, I want to know the configuration about Mac also. At least if somebody can be helping us with that. Because
I'm not a
we
Mac
use
user, but if you use this command,
Mac user.
config. I don't use Mac, but
No,
if you use this, yeah, go ahead.
For Mac, you use fconfig, right?
Yeah, if you use fconfig, it should work for Mac.
All right. Thank you.
If you're also using Linux operating system, fconfig will also work for Linux operating system.
All right. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, I'm not using Mac.
Okay.
So guys, if you also check, the reason why I try to show you the IP, the subnet, and the default gateway is because we are going to use it moving forward. When we talk about DHCP is the concept where, you know, if you build a network, all of the devices right now, all of you that are connected to whatever network you are connected to right now, there's the DHCP server that is issuing you that IP address. Without DHCP server, you just have a network that you build up and you don't have a DHCP configuration. No device can connect to that network because DHCP have to assign IP to that device. So DHCP server, dynamic host configuration protocol, it helps you to regulate the distribution of IPs or how you can structure the entire layout of the arrangement of your IP addresses. For example, you can decide to use maybe that /24 you are using like 254. You can decide to use from IP1 to maybe IP50 for the different subnet. You can also use from 52 to the next one for different subnet. So DHCP server is the one that responsible for that. So let's come back here just to give you some basic concept. Let's assume that we have this network. Let me just show you something here basically so that we can take it up from there. So people are already discussed networking to tell you what is a network. So I'll just leave this part. So when we talk about IP addresses, they are having 4 octet, and each octet has 8 bits. So for example, the computer understands these binary terms. For we as human, we cannot remember these numbers. They say visit Baidu.com or Facebook.com. That's a server you are trying to access. That server has an IP address. And that IP address can be broken down into binary address. It's the binary one that the computer understands. But we as humans, it's very difficult to memorize these things. It's easier for us to remember or memorize Facebook.com. So that's why we have something called DNS to resolve the naming issues. We also have something called NAT. So for example, we have this IP address here 69.89.31.226. The binary representation is this term that you see down here. Olana, please share that PPT in the TIT group chat for us. I'll try to do so. So this is the binary representation. So let's try to do an example, right? How can we find the binary numbers for a decimal number. So the number up here, they are decimal numbers. So how can we find a binary number? So let's do one practical, and then let's find a binary number for maybe 4. Okay? Let's find a binary number for 4. So like we said, an IP address has 4 octet, and each octet has 8 bits. So let's take this one as 1 octet. It could be 192.168.1.4. So we say 8 bits. If you want to get the value for 4, you have to write down like 8 bits. That's 2, 4, 6, 7, and 8. And these 8 bits, there's a way you can be able to memorize or know the place value. For those of you that did mathematics, you understand something called place value. Some people, sorry for the echo. So the place value for this first one here is 1. This one is 2. We start to increment. This one is 4. This one is 8. This one is 16. This one is 32. This one is 64. This one is 128. So if somebody say find a binary number for 4, that means among these 8 bits that we have, all of the bits that will be on, they are on bits and off bits. So 4, obviously we cannot use this bit because this bit is 128. It's bigger than 4. We cannot use 64. 64 is bigger than 4. So that means this bit is off. This bit is off. We cannot use 32. It's also bigger. So it's off. We cannot use 16. 16 is also off. We cannot use 8. 8 is bigger. So we can use 4. So this bit is on. We cannot use this one because we already found our value we want. We already have 4. So the binary number for 4 is 001. 00000. That's the binary number for 4. That's what the computer understands. Every time you tap 4 into your phone, into your computer, this is the binary representation of 4. So just imagine you tapping a lot of values. That's why the computer has something called processor. Because imagining just 4, we have to write all these numbers just to get a value for 4. So let's do an example, right? Do from your end, wherever you are, let's find the binary number for 7. So if you find a binary number for 7, you can send it in the chat box. We already did it for 4. So find a binary number for 7. Make sure you write 8 bits, and then you try to see which number can you add among all these numbers that can sum up to 7. So the one that you will use, you make it as 1. The one that you will not use will be 0. So which number can we add here to get a binary number of 7? If you find the answer, please send it in the chat box. What's the binary number for 7? Can anybody find it? What's the binary number, binary digit, or binary value for 7? Can anybody find it? Binary number, binary digit for 7. Nobody? Wow. We just did it for 4.
It's like these people, I don't think anybody is here.
What's the binary number for 7? We did it for 4. So for 4, we cannot use 28 because 28 is big. 64 is big. 32 is big. 16 is big. 8 is big. Now we get 4, so we put 4 there as 1. We can use 2 because we already get 4. We can use 1 because we already get 4, so it's 0, 0. So the binary number for 4 was 0, 0, 1. You said?
triple ones, like 111. If you want, then you add a zeros.
Beginning from which side? The right side or the left side?
Coming from the right side. Coming from the right side will be 0, 0, 0, 0. Then the last 3 will be 1, 1.
From the right side, you said?
From the right.
This is the right side.
This will be 0. From the 28th side will be 0, 0,
okay.
0, 0, 0. Then from 4 to 1 will be 1, 1. Yeah, from here 1, 1, 1.
Okay, yeah. Thank you so much. So that's the binary number for 7. Thank you. So you can keep trying different numbers. That will help you. So now let's move on. And now get a topology or the network, some people call it network topology. It's while we go into, you get a scratcher of what you want to design. So we have this place where we have a router here. Somebody might ask, what is a router? So let's talk about it. So router basically routes packets. Packets are information, like pieces of information that are sent. So if you send something on the network, they are broken down into pieces. Those pieces are called packets. So router route them. Like for hop cannot actually send all of the packet one place. Somebody might intercept, or it might decide to just scatter the packets throughout the network. But for router, it's able to properly do that for you. So if you are computer A, you send it to computer Z, it will properly send it directly to computer Z. So router makes sure traffic between computers go where it needs to go. But HUB does not really do that. Switch, on the other hand, it basically connects devices on a network by using packet switching to receive and to forward data. So we're going to use these two devices building our network. So we have a general router here. Maybe it could be on any flow. We have one switch here. We have another switch here. And then we can have multiple devices. Maybe we can have 3 computers. Computer 1, computer 2, computer 3. On the other switch, we can have the same 3 computers or more. It's very cold in here now. Some people getting too many echo. Some people, sorry, just filter it. Use some kind of filter. We got one cable connecting from the switch to the router, another one connecting from the switch to the router. This one can be probably on the second floor, or if you're using one office space, it could also be there. This one can be on the first floor. The first floor switch 1. This one can be switch 2. Computer 1, 2, 3. Computer 1, 2, 3, like that. So there's the network we are going to build. And see if computer 1 from the first floor can communicate with any of these computers on the second floor. So now let's go to we're going to be using Cisco Packet Tracer for our demonstration. Cisco Packet Tracer for our demonstration. Fire, I can hear you, so you can use the chat box, Fire from Zoom. If you have any question, you can use the chat box, and then I'm going to. So right after this demonstration, the meeting for today will be over, and then we can call it a day. So we have had different people from different places. Let's move on today. So on a Cisco Packet Tracer, you have different devices here. If you click on the first one, they are networking devices. We need one router from there. We're going to use the let's use this 1941 router. Okay? And then we need a switch. According to our sketch, we need a switch. Let's use the 24-port switch. We can get 2 of it for the first floor and second floor. We also need computers. So let's come to our end devices and get one desktop here. Computer 1, computer 2. We can use 2 computers, basically no problem. Or we can make it 3. Computer 1 on the other side here, computer 2 here as well.
You can also add laptops.
Yeah, so before you deploy a general, or build a general network, you can also do this. for the corporate environment to know how your system is going to work. So we're going to use our copper straight through cable to connect the devices. So from a router to a switch, you can also use it. You can also check the TIT WeChat channel. I think I did a video like this before. You can check the YouTube channel also. I have video there covering this as well. I have video covering this as well. So it will soon be over before you know it, and we'll be out of here maybe in less than 30 minutes. If you guys don't have any question, in less than 30 minutes. So please stay. We'll take attendance for day 5, right after this one. So we can just do some laboring here, add some notes. We call this one the general router. We call this general router. We call this, we need to have something called our gateway, 192.168.1.1 for this network. This network will have 192.168.2.1. It's 2 different networks. And then this one will be first flow switch. And this one can be second flow switch. And we can have computer 1. For computer 1, we'll give the IP address of 192.168.1.2, since the gateway is 1.1. In the DHCP, we can also decide to issue IP maybe beginning from 30, 1.30 or whatever we can use. 192.168.1. It can be any IP, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, any one we can go with. On the other side, we can have 192.168.2.2. 2.1 is the gateway. So you cannot give the gateway to, like the power for the horse. You cannot name another child to be the power. You can get 2 power in the horse. So 168.2.3 or 2.4, 2.5, 2. Whatever. This one you can. This one you can better get it closer, it's up to you, but just a sketch. So now let's work on assigning these IPs and stuff to our device. So you come here on a config, and here you can put the gateway. So the gateway we're going to put here is the gateway of this network, because this computer is attached to this network. So the gateway here is 1.1. Okay, so the gateway here is 192.168.1.1. Let me copy this guy so I can use it again. On our fast Ethernet, the IP address of this computer is 1.2. That's what we put here. If I press the tab key, it's going to give me the subnet mask of this IP, or I can manually tap it. But faster, I can just press the tab key and it's going to automatically find the subnet mask. So that's all for this computer. Let's do the next one for this computer. The gateway remains the same for this other computer. We just change the IP of this computer to 1.3, and we press the tab key to give us the subnet mask. So that's all for that side. Let's do it for this side as well. The gateway for this side is 2.1. So the gateway here is 2.1. I just hope you are following. I'm going to purposely made a mistake to see if somebody is following, to know where that problem is. The IP for this computer is 2.2.
Very enjoying the teaching.
This computer here, let's give it an IP. So the gateway on this side remains the same, 2.1. And then our IP for this side, Press the tab key, and then we move. So now this one locally is okay. But in order for us to communicate, let's test it first before we go ahead, so that we're working at scanner mail. What thing already working in? I didn't working. So let's check our IP address. IP config, the same thing we did for our actual computer. This one is a simulation. It's the same thing. So the IP you see here is 1.2. That was the sound of computer number 1. And our gateway was 1.1. Our subnet mask was this one. Okay? So let's see if we can ping. Sorry, I didn't tell you about ping. Ping is packet inline network gripper. Packet inline network gripper is where we can use to test if we can be able to access another IP address, another device, or another website. So you can ping google.com, you can ping baidu.com. So if you ping something and they give you request timeout, that means you cannot reach that device. So let's ping the other device that we have, 192.168.1.3 was the other computer on the same stuff, right? So locally, we are okay. There's another computer on the other side that has 2.1. That's 2.1, the gateway on that side. We cannot reach this gateway. We should not be able to reach this gateway because the router has not been configured. So you see here, request timeout, because we cannot reach that side. If you send a packet or you try to ping, you can know how much was sent. You see 4 here was sent, 4 were received, and we lost nothing. So that means we had a successful start. Also here, we sent 4 requests, but then we didn't receive anything, and then we lost all 4. So 100% lost. That means we cannot access that other device on the other side. So how can we then access? The back sound is terrible. Some people. If I take this computer from here, they will not hear me. So what you can do, some people, after the meeting, you can just go on the YouTube channel and then you're gonna see the same thing we are doing there. Right after the meeting, you can check in 30 minutes when the meeting is over. Check in 30 minutes, the recording will be on YouTube. So let's do the router quickly. You can see here from this one to this one is red. But these ones, they are green, meaning locally this network is good. Locally this network is good. They can communicate. These 2 computers can communicate.
CEO.
Yeah. Jala? Jala? You have something to say? Okay, so let's move on. Jala, we cannot hear you. So if you open a router, you have to make sure to check if the router is on. So you see the green sign here, meaning the router is on. If it's not on, you can turn it on by just clicking. So we're going to go now into the configuration of the router. So you open the CLR. For Cisco router, it comes in commands. For Microtech router and other D-Link and other routers you have, like they are GUR routers, meaning you don't have to type command, you just see pictures, or you can just do yes and no and move on from there. But for Cisco devices, you have to type commands. So we are here now to do our configuration, making sure that both networks can communicate. So let's say you like to enter the initial configuration, we can say no. Okay, so that we'll do our own configuration. Let me see if I can. There's no way I can zoom in this guy. Let me see. These guys cannot allow me to zoom in their terminal. I don't know if you can see it better, but just from your end, you can try to go ahead from there. So enable, we can just call it short and tap EN. EN means enable. It's the same as you tapping or spelling the entire enable. So enable means we want to enter now the router to start our configuration. So we have to configure our terminal. So you say config T or config terminal. Configuration terminal. So if I press config T and press the tab key, it's going to give me the full command. I can enter now. I'm into the configuration terminal. In the configuration terminal, what I want to do is to protect my router, and by doing so, I can protect different things. I can protect my visual terminal. I can protect my console port. I can protect my actual router. It's very important because somebody else might just come to hack your device, and then that will cause problem for you. Or just log into your device, and then next thing you realize, you might put a password probably on the router, but you might leave the console port open or the visual terminal open. So somebody can use it as a backdoor and enter a router. So you want to make sure you protect all of that. So we say LAN console 0. That is our console port. We want to put a password on it. Password OWCC. Okay. So our LAN console has been enabled. We can log in. And now what next we want to do, we want to also protect another guy, our visual terminal. Or basically our visual terminal. So we say LAN VTY. That is the visual terminal from 0 to 4. We also want to put a password on it. And we can call it maybe, we use the same password over. It's not advisable, but let's, for the sake of practice, let's just move on because of time. And then we also log in and we exit from there as well. The next thing we want to do is to go now to our interface. Okay. We can also enable secret. That is the actual, for the actual router. Enable secret. That is the password for the actual router. And then we can put a password on and say guru. Okay. So now your router itself has a password. Your visual terminal has a password. Your console port has a password. So if you want to keep the same password all over, it's up to you. If somebody knows one password, they can be able to access all three. So you want to have maybe something different for all three. Now let's try to configure our interfaces so that our routers can start communicating, and then we can call it a day. So we say interface. So interface F, and then you can press the tab key. It's going to complete the command for you. So interface fast Ethernet 0/0. That's the same thing we use on the other side there. And then we can put our IP address. IP address. The IP address we used for that side was 192.168.1.1. And the subnet mask was 255.255.255.0. And then what we can say here is no shutdown. But let's add some description on it to know which router is this description. And then we say this is router 0. And then we can say no shutdown. So you can see here the status have changed. It's now up. So let's do it again. Repeat the same thing for the other router. And then we say, we exit this guy. And we now go back to our interface. Fast Ethernet 0/1 for the other side. And our IP address was 192 for the other network, 168.2.1. Okay? And our subnet mask was 255.255.255.0. And now we also want to add a description to it to say this is router 0 or router 1. Okay? And here we want to say no shutdown. So also the other side is also up. Now what we want to do is to copy the configuration, because if we log out of here and I turn off the packet tracer, the next time I log in, all this configuration will be, erased or disappear. So let's exit and try to save our configuration. We can also exit from here and say copy the running configuration to startup configuration. So the current configuration that is running, we want to copy it to the startup configuration. So whenever the router starts, this configuration should go into that. And then we can say yes. Let's copy again. Okay. So now let's close this guy and see. So now you can see the red thing that was here is no longer here. So let's assume that everything is okay. We can now try the test. Let's go back to computer 1. And then we open our command prompt. And we try to okay, this card is not going from the side. Let's try to ping again. Let's try to ping. We are on computer 1. Let's try to ping computer 3. So we can ping it. Now let's go across and ping the default gateway for the other router, 2.1. So now you can see we can reach 2.1 from computer 1 on the other side. Let's try to see if we can ping 2.2. That is computer 1 on the other side. 2.2 is this guy. Is this one. 2.1 was the gateway for this one. So we can reach this gateway. And we can also reach this computer according to this ping, 2.2. Now let's try to ping 2.3. So let's ping 2.3 and see what happened. Let's see if we can reach 2.3. So it's like we cannot reach 2.3. So can anybody tell me what's the problem? Why we cannot reach 2.3? We can reach the gateway, we can reach the other computer, but we cannot reach.
You need to check the IP address.
Okay.
They confirm the IP address of that.
So this is the gateway is correct. That means the IP address was wrong.
It's wrong.
Yeah, so wrong IP.
Event 2.3 instead of 1.3. So now let's go back to computer number 1 and see if we can be able to reach this guy again, 2.3. So now we can reach 2.3. We can now reach 2.3. So that was the problem. So if you have similar issue like that, did it on purpose to see if you guys are following. So this is it. You can modify it. There are a lot of devices. You can add wireless devices. You can add servers. If you want to download it, you can come here and visit. Let me see. I don't know if I save it out here for you guys. I think I did. Did it? Close it? Sorry, guys. I close it. Let me see now. I don't think I close it. I think I open this thing for you guys. So you can visit www.netacad.com and you can register and you take the Cisco Packet Tracer course and they should be able to take you from there. I think I've already I don't want to sign in. I already have an account. So once you do so, you can come here to when you register and you log in, you have access to download. It will give you resources. You'll see another tab here for resources where you can download the Cisco Packet Tracer. And then you can be able to practice and build more networks as you ought to do. There are a lot of so that's it for today. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your patience, your everything. Let's do our attendance. But if you have any question, you can ask. If you don't have, then we can.
Yeah, see, you have a question.
Yeah, what's the question?
So in this diagram, like flow 1, okay, assuming like flow 1 is different network, right? What is the, I want to see the diagram.
Okay. Let me try to. Go ahead.
That's in reality, this is flow 1, or it's just is different network, and flow 2 is different network. Now, in order for them to communicate, you introduce router. Now, in this route, let's say in the actual sense, are they using one router, or will every department have their own router different?
They can use, like what we do. Let me show you something. For example, when I was leading the team of engineers that did the Ministry of Health setup at the time when I was in Liberia, we were building a network for Ministry of Health. There's the server room of Ministry of Health. So you can see here we have patch panel.
Okay.
Don't look at it. Don't look at the face. That time I was too fun.
I know. I've seen this picture before.
So we have patch panel.
Okay.
The patch panel the Ministry of Health had is a 4-story, like a 4 floors for Ministry of Health. So what we did was to put 4 access points on each floor, and then each floor has a switch room.
Okay.
From the switch room, we take a backbone cable. That backbone cable is just one long cable we have that is going from the switch room on the first floor, coming through to the server room. So we have one router, but we have switch on each floor. All of the access points, the thing that will be broadcasting the Wi-Fi name, they are access points. All of the access points will be connected to the switch on each floor. Then the switch will get connection from the server room, which is from the router. So we have a backbone cable from the switch coming to the router. So that was the setup we used. Like for when I was with eHealth Africa at the time, I did this topology in 2016. We have backbone connections. We took connection from our ISP number 1 was Lone Star Cell for the main link, and we have a backup connection from Electric Shock. We also have like connections throughout Liberia. In all of the 15 or 16 counties, we have connection in all of them. For those in the southeast, we were using VSAT connection because at the time, Lone Star don't have any service actually that was running there in the southeast. So we're using satellite connections. And then for other cities like for Nimba, Grand Jide, Bong, Margibi, all these people were using Lone Star connection from there. And we also have apartments at JFK. Those expats that will come to Liberia, we had one cell tower like these guys were discussing in their presentation. We had one cell tower at the main office that we put another sextant. This is a microtech device, SST. What this one was doing, we had another one also at the apartment that was sending connection from the head office to the apartment. So instead of us buying another and paying another ISP to give us internet at the apartment for our bosses, we were just transferring another. So for example, if we took like 10 meg from Lone Star Cell, we distribute, maybe we send like 2 meg. 2 megabyte was sent at the apartment to be used there. But another thing that we did at the time was for us to use that connection at the end of the day, like 5:30, everybody goes home, like 6. When everybody goes home in the night, the entire bandwidth should be redirected to the apartment. In a day, the apartment only have 2 meg. So it was kind of a complex system. We have router that was used for just the connection from the ISP. We also have the access router that was used for firewalls. Like in China here, they have this great firewall of China that allows us not to use Facebook, even though you can see us, you can see people on Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp, but it's blocked in China. And how it is happening is because of the ISP. So we have China Mobile, we have China Telecom, we have China Unicom. I think Abel was also throwing light on it. All these companies, when you buy a SIM card or you buy a service from them, these people in their router, they have firewalls. Firewall is what we use to put rules. I remember also we had this firewall rules that are enabled back then in the office, where people could only access Facebook from let's say before 8 o'clock in the morning. Those that can come to work early on, they can use Facebook until 8 o'clock, and 8 o'clock it will be closed at exactly 8, and it will be open at 4 o'clock. So between 8 to 4 is productive hours. So there are bosses told like we don't want people accessing Facebook because we realize that people can just be on Facebook and YouTube. So you guys should block it. So we block Facebook from 8 in the morning to 5, that's a 4 or 5 in the evening. So then later on in the evening, when people finish doing all of their work, they can just go now and log on to Facebook. It will be open automatically. So all these things happen and it's possible, but I don't want to take much of your time today. It's already a lot. Thank you so much. Any other question? Any other question? Where can you go to download Cisco Packet Tracer? I just showed it just now, Edmond. You can go to Netcard and download Cisco Packet Tracer. Visit this website and create an account. They also have free courses there for you to do. You can learn about Cisco Packet Tracer. They have. If you finish, you can get certificates for free. So visit our website and then you can download Cisco Packet Tracer. You can be able to practice. They have videos there. If you finish everything, they give you certificate and all of that. So, any other question? So if that's all, we just call it a day. Let me just do the attendance and then I can end this recording. Let me just take this attendance quickly. I can end this recording for today. So make sure those of you that have not presented, prepare your PPT. Tomorrow is the last day of this program. Right after tomorrow, we start sending your certificates. Right after tomorrow, we start sending your certificates. So I'm going to take the first screen. I'm going to take the first screen in. So let me get my. Okay, I got it here. All right, I'm going to take the first screen in 3, 2, 1. So I've captured the first screen. Some people are here, but almost like 10 persons, they run away. And say, oh, yeah. I've captured the first screen. Let me take the second screen. You don't know which screen you are on, so please just maintain your position. Somebody's also doing for Zoom. So Zoom people, please stay. When I finish something, and then you guys can ask another question you might have, so that we call it a day. The first two teams are presented. Your certificates are ready, but because the date that is on it is reflecting the 28th, so I can't share it now. Some of you might post it, and we have not reached the 28th yet. So let's just wait tomorrow, and then let me take the last screen. I'll just wait tomorrow, and then you guys can go about sharing your certificate. Okay, so I think I'm done with Tencent people. Thank you guys so much for being here. Highly appreciate it.
Let's I get Kuma out the way.
You
got group, I got certificate.
If you don't have group and you try asking,
one man can present my.
Yeah, that's it. So if you try asking and you don't have any group, you can find your own group.
I am putting group. How many so a group may be adding. Hello, may add this thing you group over. I mean, it's my I'm in yeah, put me a group. Yeah, man, need ever.
Okay, so I'm
getting the